1991, construction workers outside the city of Luxor, Egypt, were digging the foundation for a new road. It was supposed to be routine work: dust, heat, stone. Luxor sat on layers of history, but most of it had already been mapped, catalogued, locked behind museum glass. No one expected anything new. The shovel struck something hollow. At first, they thought it was a collapsed pipe. Then the earth gave way, and a section of ground folded inward like wet paper. One of the workers nearly fell in. When they shined a light into the opening, the beam didn't stop. It disappeared downward. Authorities were called. Archaeologists followed. What they found wasn't a tomb in the traditional sense, not sealed, not ceremonial. It was a shaft, narrow and deep, descending into darkness that felt older than language. When they climbed down, the smell hit first. Not rot, not exactly. Something dry, ancient, human. The shaft opened into a chamber filled with bodies. Not mummies, not preserved nobles wrapped in gold. These were carelessly stacked corpses, dozens of them, limbs tangled, skulls cracked, bones scorched. Some had their hands bound, others had mouths stuffed with cloth that had long since turned to dust. There were children, teenagers, adults. None had names carved in stone, no offerings, no prayers, just bodies. As more chambers were uncovered, the number climbed into the hundreds. The horrifying discovery was not just that they were dead, it was how they were dead. Many skulls showed blunt force trauma. Some had clean cuts at the base of the neck. Others bore signs of burning, not ceremonial cremation, but exposure to intense heat, as if fires had been lit after death or during it. These people had not been honored. They had been disposed of. At first, archaeologists assumed this was a mass grave from a famine or plague, but the bones told a different story. Muscle attachment points showed these people were strong, well-fed. Many had signs of repeated physical labor, quarry work, hauling stone, slaves, or workers. Then came the inscriptions, not on walls, but scratched hurriedly onto limestone shards scattered among the bones. Names, dates, notes written by officials, mentions of punishment, of disobedience, of appeasing the gods. This was not a burial site. It was a killing site. Further excavation revealed something worse. The chambers were connected to tunnels leading toward the Valley of the Kings, the sacred burial ground of pharaohs. These people had likely worked on royal tombs. They knew layouts, secrets, hidden passages, and when their work was finished, they were eliminated. Not all at once, over years, generations, quietly. The horrifying realization settled in slowly. The grandeur of ancient Egypt, the tombs, the gold, the preservation of kings, was built atop systematic human disposal. Workers who knew too much, who saw too much, who could not be allowed to speak. Some bones showed signs of hesitation wounds, shallow cuts before fatal ones. Others showed restraints tightened over time. One skeleton had fingers broken individually. This was not execution, it was control. The site was eventually sealed from the public. Official reports softened the language. Laborer burial complex. Ritual significance uncertain. But archaeologists who worked there said the same thing privately. This wasn't religion. This was cleanup. The road construction resumed above it. Tourists walked nearby, buying souvenirs shaped like scarabs and gods. And beneath their feet lay hundreds of people whose lives ended not in mystery, but in certainty. They were never meant to be remembered.